Sales and marketing needs to learn how finance works, and finance needs to know how sales and marketing works. Not optional. You want to move a business forward, that's the path. Good morning, everybody. Today, Ruby and myself are talking about how valuable it is for folks in sales and marketing to know how the finance operations of a business work, how margins are calculated, how we do our things in terms of cash flow management, how we keep things moving from a working capital perspective, a long-term debt, short-term debt model. Super valuable for sales and marketing to know, because that's how profit is made and that's how sales and marketing impacted. So if you're in finance and you don't know how sales and marketing work, you are in a danger zone. And that is because you will make financially minded decisions that have real world ramifications to the overall go-to-market engine of your business. And so this is a little talk for today around how do we balance those things out? So do I expect a CFO to become a CMO? Absolutely not. In no way does that make sense to me. Those are two different human beings at every level. So they behave differently, they know things differently, they see things differently. Not a good idea. However, on the flip side of the coin, does it make sense for that CFO to understand how a marketing budget is established and what data points and KPIs that CMO is using to make sure that that engine of pipeline continues to grow? Do they get it? Do they fundamentally get it? And then if you are on the CMO, CRO, CSO chair, do you get how all of this stacks up into your cost of acquisition? Do you understand how this all stacks up into the fact that we can't do certain things because we just don't have the money? And even though there's a really good reason for it, financially it can't happen this year, maybe next year. And if you don't have a really clear, clean grasp of that, you'll see the world for what it is, which is we're being held back. Maybe you are, but maybe you're not. So maybe you're being held back for all the right reasons. And so for our purposes today, think about that in terms of your team and your team structure. Does it make sense to peek around the curtain more than once a month, once a quarter, to see how the other side of the business operates? And so finance, are you sharing the good best practice of managing and maintaining a good financial engine of a business? And are you doing that smartly for an audience that doesn't necessarily get all the inner workings? Because finance people and bankers and CFO people, they talk and speak in a different language. I am not one of those human beings, so I totally understand this. On the flip side, we don't want marketing and ultimately sales to be magic beans and unicorns and happy accidents and all the things that we always see. So if you're operating a business, get those two groups together at more than a high level, let's talk about it scenario. Get really specific. Let's figure out how our margins are created. Let's figure out how working capital operates in the business. Don't keep any of that a secret. It's not something that you want your sales and marketing leaders to just be coming and begging for money all the time and not seeing any of the reasons why you're saying no, because there are pretty good reasons to say no. And sometimes, as a CFO, you have no idea what they're talking about, and you just don't want to spend the money. And there's that. So let's not do that either. That's a bad idea. So figuring that out for your purposes is correct. So today, Ruby says, CFOs, let's roll our sleeves up and get into the weeds on what our sales and marketing teams are doing. And sales and marketers, it's really helpful to know how the foundational, fundamental finances of the business are going to operate and work, and what that means when it comes to budget time. All right, enough for today. Walking and talking with Ruby.